When I was like 8 years old, I stayed up late one night to watch that shitty Ben Stiller movie called Duplex on my TV, and I left my door open a crack. I don't know why. I thought I heard what sounded like footsteps coming right up the stairs. My bedroom in my childhood home was the first room from the staircase, so I looked over and saw a hooded shadow figure silently fly down the hallway, and I freaked the fuck out. I remember going to my mom's room sobbing, and her and my older brother trying to calm me down and make me go back to sleep. My brother had to just pick me up and carry me because I refused to go back to the room. I remember I held onto the fucking door frame crying because I was so afraid. I don't remember how long it lasted for, but eventually I somehow managed to calm down and went to bed. Been meaning to post these since forever. Praise up for opening this thread. My childhood was filled with stuff like this, mostly because of my friend group being adventurous. B6th/7th grade, anywhere from 10 to 12 years old. Be me. Play hide and seek in an old underground parking/basement area. Place was used by 3 buildings, it was huge. Also dark as fuck. Me and 2 others get caught, so we're searching for our 4th friend. Friend comes rushing though us, literally knocking the wind out of us, and continues running. We thought that somehow he didn't see us/he had mistaken us for someone else. As we are shouting for him to come back, we hear a distant scraping that gets closer fast. As we are processing the sound, a sharp metallic screech comes from the direction of the scraping. Like what a fox with a vocal box would sound like. Sprint the fuck out of there. Feel sunlight after what felt like hours underground. Everyone has a different perception of what that thing sounded like. I don't know if the sound was just too unorthodox to describe, or somehow it changed depending on the person. Friend who was hiding said that it was a person screaming his lungs out. Others say that it was explosion-like or a loud hiss. FFW 9 to 10 years. Event turns into a debate with the same group of friends. Theories ranging from a water pipe problem to a schizo-homeless person. Friend who was hiding has no recollection of said event and says it's just a collective false memory. Thoughts? This actually didn't happen that long ago, as I was 18 at the time. Be senior in HS, 2021. Summerish. Be at a strip mall. With same friend group from before plus a few others. This mall is quite the popular spot for young chav types to hang around and pick fights with each other. It's almost always crowded with kids and teens. Be in crowd waiting for friends to grab some food from a bakery. Hear whistling. Now normally whistling in this place would be nothing out of the ordinary, but this was different. It was calculated and flawless. Get out of crowd. Whistling starts following us. We start to get annoyed, thinking it's someone trying to provoke us. The whistling is always close to us but out of sight, and as I said, robotic-esque. One of my friends with a non-existent temper gets heated and runs towards the whistling. Whistling stops. That's that. MP4. Go to friend's house and get hammered. Leave around 2 AM with another friend and go home. As soon as we step out the building, the fucker is back. Now it's more malicious in tone, like it's taunting us. We curse at the sound, but it just continues. At an area with tall hedges. Whistling is getting really close now, like just behind the hedges. Me and friend decided that we jump the fucker on his mark. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Then the fucker whistles again for the last time. The sound went over our heads, doing something of a 360. Literal ear rape material. And then nothing. Go home bewildered by what the fuck we just experienced. Sophomore winter of 2020 pre-COVID. Chilling at home playing Sekiro on my PS. An unsaved number is ringing me. Pick up and it's an old woman talking in Albanian. Politely inform her that I don't speak the language and that she has the wrong number and hang up. As soon as I put down my phone, it starts ringing again. Sigh and just put it on silent. Continue with game. Pick up my phone after some time to see if someone has messaged me. MFW 54 missed calls and still ringing. Oh Hitson. Pick up and shout at them for a few minutes, mutually exchanging curses and swears in foreign languages. Hang up and block. Don't think much of it. Tell friends about these crazy ass old people. They want to have a few rounds with them. Much shouting ensues. 30 minutes after the last call. My friend's PC literally fries itself. Freezes and emits heat like a radiator. Pull the plug and open it, cause something other than the cooling fan was making noise inside. The motherboard was half melted. Friend visibly upset but doesn't attribute this to the Albanian witch. Go home. My PS had all its files corrupted. Closest I've been to ending it. Another friend had something similar happen to him, but I don't remember what it was. I just know that it was with something like a boiler. We all mutually agree that all of this is cause we go hexed by that granny. Decide to call again. Number doesn't exist. Alright, time for the weirdest story. Be 11 to 12 years old. Trip to some big ass water park for summer cause no camp this year. I was big into scouts and shit like that at that age. Trip was super cool. Going back home after 3 days of fun. Not even sad cause I'm so satisfied with trip. Suddenly a feeling comes over me. Dad, I need to take a number 2. Pull up on nearby gas station. Okay Anon, go poop and we gonna refuel and buy some stuff, just be quick. Go into toilet. Pick related, expect no mirrors and stall doors were more like the shitty ones at school. Go into the stall on left, there were 3 stalls and the one in the middle was occupied. Poopin' and minding my own business when I hear an ungodly scream. Something like a mix between a deer and a bear. Scared so much I no longer need to poop but don't wanna leave stall. Hear weird voices. Hard to tell. Speak in some weird language, Latin I think, although not sure. Se blood flowing on the floor from the middle stall. Jesus Christ help me. MP3. My stall door shakes violently. Scream like a little girl. Beg for mercy. Everything stops. Blood is gone. Bathroom empty. No clue WTF just happened. Wanna get out. Door to outside won't open even though it lacks a lock. Daft do I do now? Scream for help. Dad hears me. I'll get help Anon. Calm down a bit. Turn around. Middle stall is open and I see this massive fucking shadow monster thing. I vividly remember that it was dark with large horns and eyes that reflected light like animal eyes on photos do, but not much beside that. Scream louder than ever in my life as it slowly approaches me. Right when it's like 3 miles from me, some biker with a crowbar who my dad recruited opens the door. They look and see nothing in there. They think I'm crazy. Dad is mad at me for a couple of months cause he had to pay for that door. Shared experience with my little brother, had a few other experience as well, but nothing like this one. B12 yo. Find out that Transformers 2007 is going to be on TV at 11 p.m. on a school night. Want to watch it with my little brother? Ask mom. She says no. We'll see about that. PNG. Devise plan with my brother. Pretend to go to sleep. Wait till parents are asleep. Get out of bed. Tell my brother to close all the doors and turn on the TV while I prepare snacks. Ohio hit salcoming together.jpg. Don't hear TV being on. Goddamit.png. Walk into living room, see my brother frozen in place staring at something. Hey, what's Ren dash? Notice it? See a pitch black entity with white face and red eyes with its head peeking out just behind the couch. It suddenly drops behind the couch. Stand there for a couple of seconds. Walk slowly into kitchen. Take knife. Crouch, walk with knife in hand to couch. Peek behind couch. Nothing. We didn't watch Transformers that night. From age 10 to 14 I had recurring nightmares about a creepy ghost girl, think Japanese horror, curled up in the top shelf of my closet just staring at me whenever I was in my room. Grew out of them and forgot about it. Was home for Christmas a couple years ago with my wife and we stayed in my old room and we were just laying in the bed staring at our phones waiting on people to arrive and she screams and grabs me and says she swears she saw a little girl in the closet. Kinda spooky, man. Be me. 12:30 a.m., November 12, 2020. Sophomore in college, bringing my GF to my place to meet the family. Home is in Middle TN. Semi-rural. There is a large forest behind my parents' house that is hundreds of acres. We are awake at night so we can get the PS5 which was releasing at 4 a.m. at the local GameStop. Full moon, super clear and bright night. Let's go look at the stars up at the catwires. There are TVA catwires running an electrical grid through the forest. Huge clearing at the top of a hill in the forest next to the catwires. We see my neighbor's giant white cat playing around the entrance to the path. Pet caught. We go to top of the hill in the forest. Was lit, got my dick sucked too at the catwire. Nothing suspicious yet. Appreciating the stars. Around 1 a.m. we start to walk back to my truck which is parked at edge of forest. Begin to hear a strange howl or hoo about a mile away and in two separate places. Could be a coyote, owl, or other wild animal so we thought nothing of it, keep walking. We are only about 1000 feet away from my truck now. Howl proceeds to approach us and turns into something that sounds like an Aztec death whistle with loud clicks in 1-second intervals. Sound is very close now, coming from the treetops. At this point my GF and I didn't even say anything but we were now running for our lives. The sound is now coming from about 4 different directions all in the forest, and couldn't be more than 500 feet away from us and closing in fast. We break through the forest shrubbery ditching the regular path to my truck. I quickly jump into the bed while GF is already starting the truck. Peel out. I stare into the wilderness and at this point I can only hear my heartbeat and the engine. Later, at GameStop parking lot my GF tells me she saw what was chasing us in the forest. Said it looked like a human-sized gray raccoon running swiftly on its hind legs. Never seen my GF more afraid in my life. Never spoken of again. I was a college freshman, 10 plus years ago, at home for the summer, working at a burger place in Seattle. Halfway through the summer this guy around my age joins, and would talk with him to pass the time. He asked me a lot about college, specifically about sororities. Every conversation seemed to find its way to the topic of parties or sorority girls, but I didn't think that much of it. Move forward a month or so and I'm at my last day, and we're talking about me going back to college. He said he was going to visit the first weekend of classes. My college is known as a party school, people visiting for big weekends is not uncommon, so again I didn't think much of it. I knew I wasn't going to meet up with him, but I humored him and said we'd hang out. Flash forward a few weeks, I hear of some dude breaking into a sorority house and hiding under a girl's bed. It was him. Be me, about 12 years old. Used to hike behind friend's house down a huge Texas drainage ditch. Always told his mom we stayed in the house. No cell phones, no weapons. Mostly tall grass, chain link fences that are the back of warehouses and factories. One day we're going through the forest. Talking to friend, turn. See a man. He's just staring at us. Realize we're in his home in the woods. He has little structures built, about 4 of them, all different shapes. One tent, the others I don't remember really, one was kind of blocky looking. Kept talking to my friend. Staring at the man, he stares back. Start walking around. Don't look back. Years later. Hey, remember when we saw that guy in the woods? Friend has no recollection. I have no idea how he didn't see him. I thought him being quiet was just playing along with me, pretending like he wasn't there, signaling to the man that we weren't going to bother him. Some part of me wonders if he's still there in the woods. From an early age my dad would tell me stories about strange experiences he had as a younger man. These included experiences he described as miracles, such as water manifesting inside his mouth and angelic beings appearing over his bed at night and telling him that Jesus loves him. He also described seeing and being beamed aboard a flying saucer, an event which coincided with his born-again experience. This event also involved him collapsing in a snowbank and having two beams of light or lightning pierce his back from heaven. These stories inspired my interest in the paranormal from an early age. In high school I became more interested in the occult and practiced witchcraft for a while. It's as true as my friend and I and our families remember it to be. We grew up in El Copa and the river was the Clarion River. When our fathers went back armed with guns, my father took 4 paces between the front and back paws/claws from where it first appeared, standing still. The branch that it fell or leapt from was dead and its weight must have broken it. Anyway, we measured his paces later at right around 2 feet, maybe slightly more, meaning roughly 8 feet foot to foot. I can't describe it well other than it moved like a cat moves, but much longer and taller than anything I've ever seen. I've searched zoos, encyclopedias, National Geographic, etc. Literally and source I could find of every known predator, and nothing quite matches it. I've listened to hundreds of predator growls, screams, roars, etc. And nothing matches that terrifying gurgling hiss, like it had some kind of liquid in its throat. I've since spent time hunting, camping, and hiking in woods all over the country, but there is nothing on this earth that will ever lead me back to that forest. My friend and I have since drifted apart, and rarely ever speak, but he still bears the scars and will forever walk with a limp. I remember the first time I watched the first Avatar movie, I legit left the theater terrified when the then Aether scene came up. That fucking thing was so close to what we saw. I won't say it looked the same, it was dark, we were young, and fucking terrified. But the size and the movement were so similar. Anyway, thanks for the positive feedback, that shit changed my life forever. To this day I'm claustrophobic and sleep with the light on. Pickrel. I once saw a doll move in my grandmother's house, plus have distinct memories of a young adult male in the house when I was a kid that, in hindsight, did not match up with any living family members, but it matched up with my dead uncle who died as a young adult. Be little kid, still sleep with gate on side of bed because of sleepwalking. Have dream where great grandfather is lying in my bed glowing green, not that type of glowy. He is also sick, I am standing over him. He reaches out and touches me with his finger. I am now glowing green. Get scared, back away. Look out bedroom window which is wide open. Thunderstorm is brewing. Lightning crashes. Instead of thunder a loud voice roars something at me. I have never been able to recall what it said. Wake up in that bed. Window really is open, actual thunderstorm happening. Loud thunder. Window slams shut seemingly on its own. Scream at the top of my lungs. Grandparents run upstairs. Tell them about my dream. Grandpa walks away, doesn't say a word. Grandma explained my great-grandfather had passed away overnight. Family is Catholic, so the incident is never spoken of again. Be me. 8 years old. At the beach with my friend and his mom. Playing on boogie boards in shallow water. I get sucked out in the riptide. Start panicking and lose hold of the boogie board. Screaming and frantic. An old fisherman sees me, he's about 20 feet away up to his waist in the water. Throws his shit down and starts swimming out to me. He had a distinct look of age on his face, but also looks like he could be in his 40s. As he approaches me I'm screaming at him and he doesn't say a word. Puts me back on the boogie board and swims me back to shore. Go running up to my friend and his mother to tell them what happened. Fisherman heads back to the spot he was fishing in. Turn around and point to where it happened. What fisherman.png. Was hunting with my dad, we used a whistling system to avoid accidents. While chasing a bird, we got separated as he fell behind. I whistled and continued to get led deeper into the forest. Bird is long gone. After a good 15 minutes I realize there is no fucking way he has somehow gotten ahead of me. I whistle once more and still hear it further ahead of me. I turn back and walk to where we got separated. Dad is there wondering what the fuck I been doing. I asked him how he got ahead of me and he looks at me confused, says he hasn't moved since I started chasing the bird. I fucking watched him walking parallel to me before we were separated. Never went back there. He still thinks I'm fucking insane because of it. Skinwalker, demon, any ideas?
Like, share and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to ring the notification bell. You can follow us on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Catch the live streams on Rumble. Listen to text-to-speech stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube.